Hello and welcome to TNT, coming to you from Turtle Beach here in Pattaya. Bit of a washing machine out there today, probably won't be going for a swim. But for those people who are insisting on more immigration control, people coming into their country, well, at least here in Thailand, to a degree, your prayers are being answered with a new thing called the PTA. Now, what exactly it is and who it's going to impact, probably you, we'll discuss in greater detail in today's program, along with a few other updates. Also, of course, acknowledging our sponsors, 5 Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com and Beach House Thailand. And there's links in the description below if you'd like to avail yourself of either of those two businesses. Now, I had somewhat of a difficult day yesterday, which I outlined in a Facebook post. I was going to get some paint, took my dog with me, found out that she doesn't like long trips in the car. It was about an hour down to the paint store. She was sick twice in the car. Luckily, I had a few old receipts in the car, so I could sort of mop up the mess a bit. Probably rubbed more of it into the seats anyway. Eventually got to the paint store, bought the paint, came out, and the electronic brakes on my Honda had, seized. I couldn't release the brakes on the car. So tried disconnecting the battery, resetting, blah, blah, blah. Nothing happened. Had to call Mr. Honda. They eventually sent a tow truck, so the Honda went off to Honda Hospital. There I was sitting on my 3 cans of paint with my dog. Had to go into the store and buy 2 meters of blue string so I could at least have some sort of leash. And luckily, a viewer came out, spotted me, and offered me a ride back to Thailand because Grab decided they were not going to take me and my dog and my 3 cans of paint back up north. 4 Grab cars. Thank you very much for your consideration. So thank you to Florian. I've thanked you personally. Not only that, by the way, but driving back, my dog was sick in his car as well. So the lesson to be learnt is that Daisy doesn't like long trips in the car. So good luck to the people at Honda as they open up the car this morning going, ooh. Anyway, all good fun. I'm back, and we do have plenty to report today. A few updates to start with, and we go to the Bangkok Post. Pattaya approves monorail plan, and the picture they've included, that ain't a monorail. In fact, I think we'd call that a light rail or a tram. Certainly no monorail. That's a monorail. Thank you very much, Lyle Lanley on The Simpsons. Yeah, monorail, it's on one rail. But Pattaya City Hall has approved the plan to build an 11-kilometre monorail line that will run from Thap Praia intersection on the city's west side to Nong Mai Khaen in the east. And according to the feasibility study, the monorail, despite its high construction costs and maintenance fees, is best suited, they say, for the city due to its minimal structural footprint. And the route will comprise 12 stations located 800 to 1,000 metres apart from each other along the Nong Mai Khaen Road, Pom Prapa Nimit Road and Pattaya Say 3 Road before ending up at the Thap Praia intersection. City Hall is expected to expropriate 635 land plots totalling 64 rai, and the expropriation will also affect at least 461 buildings in the area. So they're not mucking around with this monorail construction. And if it's to be believed, the article finishes, construction is expected to start in 2027. Going on to our next update, this from Thai PBS World, headline, urgent calls for stricter controls on dangerous dogs after deadly attacks in Thailand. And the article has a pet behavioural expert talking about dangerous dogs and their impact and some of the things that the Thai government's got lined up to control some of these dogs. But this interesting statistic, dogsbite.org, which seeks to reduce serious dog attacks in the US, reports that around 1,000 US citizens require emergency treatment for serious dog bites every month. Annually, about 12,500 citizens are hospitalised due to dog attacks. In the 15 years up to 2019, canines killed 521 Americans. Pit bulls contributed to 66% of these deaths. And checking on the statistics in other countries and on other websites, that percentage was well either repeated or, in some cases, even more. Another update, this time going to the Bangkok Post. For those people that don't want to hear anything more about the Swiss man in Phuket, just close your ears for about 30 seconds. Doctor to appeal ruling clearing beach bully. And a doctor who claimed to have been kicked by a Swiss man while she was sitting on the steps near his property on Yamu Beach, well, it was his rented property, has vowed to appeal his acquittal on assault charges. Dr. Thandau, 26, said yesterday she was disappointed by the court's decision and said she would continue to fight for justice, adding that she stood by her accusation of assault. And her father said the family decided to appeal for the sake of fairness, adding that he hoped the public would keep up with the support. We will do our best to regain justice. And on March the 7th, the Immigration Bureau revoked Mr. Fair's visa following a recommendation from officials in Phuket. The Bureau said Mr. Fair's behaviour was deemed a threat to social order. He is appealing the visa revocation order. Now, I think when it comes to the Immigration Department, they have a lot of discretion when it comes to issuing visas, and they don't necessarily have to provide a reason for not renewing a visa. So we'll keep you up to date on that one. And to another bit of an update, there was a talk about 2 weeks ago by the former Prime Minister, Thaksin Shinawatra, outlining the things that he thought Thailand should do over the next couple of years, which I knew would draw this sort of response. And Khao English on their Facebook page report that the People's Party, formerly the Move Forward Party, MP Rangsaman Rome, said on Wednesday that the new PM, Pattaya Shinawatra, need not take it serious about announcing its policies to the Parliament because it was already done by her father, the ex-convict cum ex-premier, Thaksin Shinawatra, at a forum on August the 22nd. In a first salvo against the Pattaya Shinawatra administration, Rangsaman monitored the cabinet, the family's quota cabinet. The other rather curious story to come out of all this, and I haven't had time to report it this week, was there was a person who was put up for a ministry but was deemed, well, unqualified for whatever reason. He appointed his daughter to take his place in Parliament, and nobody seemed to bat an eyelid about it. I've sort of got a feeling we're going to hear more about it, but that's what happened. Okay, to the ETA, and a lot of people would like to know a bit more about this. It looks like it is going to happen, exactly when we don't know, but Pattaya Mail and good old Barry Kenyon has outlined some of the details as we know it now. So brace yourself, get your pad and pencil out, let's go to it. Upcoming changes to Thailand's 60 days visa exempt. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is boosting the introduction of the new ETA, stands for Electronic Travel Authorisation, which will be compulsory for visa-exempt foreigners each and every time before they enter Thailand by air, land or sea. The key word there is before they enter Thailand. And email confirmation that entry is permitted will normally be issued within 24 hours. Again, they haven't pushed the go button on this as yet, but it is going to happen. There's some timing suggested later in the article, but it hasn't started yet. And the advent of the ETA is scheduled for a phased entry in Thailand between December 2024 and June 2025. So, the first 6 months of next year, and expected to be free. And it will apply solely to visa-exempt arrivals and require an application to the e-portal www.thaivisa.go.th. So we don't have the final details from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but here are some of the things that may be included when you apply for your ETA. Accommodation address in Thailand, a flight out of the country, maybe inward-bound ticket. And these at the moment are only best guesses on what might be included on the ETA. And a similar system is operated in Malaysia and Cambodia. ETAs, in fact, are becoming universal. Then Barry goes on to a few questions. Another unknown is whether the algorithm-based ETA system will include trigger points to limit the number of 60-day entries for an individual. And the ETAs could reimpose limitations with a computerised rejection slip. and there appears to be no exemption for tourists over the age of 70, suggesting that maybe some older people are believed to be non-computer literate. Well, I think Barry is around 80 years old, and he, well, certainly is computer literate. And once granted, the ETA email authorisation sent to applicants will allow entry through electronic immigration gates by using the QR code on the document. So the bottom line on this is that you won't have to see an immigration officer unless they find something wrong with your QR code. You'll just be going through one of those automated gates. And the ETA computerised checks will include passport authenticity, any record of criminal or outrageous behaviour in Thailand, it'll count out a lot of people, and any relevant Interpol notices. And then the article finishes by going through some other questions on what might happen with the ETA. So it looks like it's definitely happening, that we know. The precise timing and details, we've still got to wait on them. But thanks very much to Barry Kenyon from Pattaya Mail for writing that good article. I will put it, if I remember, as a link in the description of this video. Now, I swear I could do this story pretty much every single day of every year I've lived here in Thailand. I hear about this so often, so I'm really just reading this just as a warning. We just had the rain starting here, so I've turned the filter on. The story says a Swedish man's heartbroken after being tricked into marriage by a Thai woman, losing nearly 360,000 baht. The woman was already married, and her soldier husband even came to threaten him at the police station. This led him to file a complaint through the media in Bangkok. And Ahmed explained that he met the Thai woman through a dating app on June the 17th this year. This has all happened in the last couple of months. By July, the woman had deceived him into agreeing to marrying her, asking him to transfer nearly 360,000 baht for wedding expenses for an August ceremony at her home up in Sukhothai. He transferred the money out of love. When he arrived in Sukhothai on August the 25th, this is just a week or so ago, the Thai woman took him to a temporary room, claiming it belonged to her relative. After that, he couldn't contact her for 2 days, and then he began to realise he'd been tricked and left the resort to seek help from Thai officials. There's plenty more details in the story, but I love the screen grab from his phone. And she sent a note saying, well, here's the price of a wedding ring, 320,000 baht per ring, gold ring with diamond side. And then she says, my mother asked me to ask, and he said, is that price for both or just one? And if you want to read all the sort of details, you can go to cowsideenglish.com. And there's plenty more information about that particular scam. But it does happen so often, and I wish people would just spend 5 minutes on the internet reading about relationships in Thailand and online dating and specifics about, dating people who you just meet casually and they start to talk about marriage or investing in businesses or buying them a car, whatever it is. Please just do a little bit of research before you come to Thailand. Okay, that's it. Tomorrow morning, we're on between 9 and 10 Thai time with our live program. That's an opportunity to talk about anything. I think I'll be talking a bit about real estate, and I probably might be talking a bit more about the ETA. Something might come up today, and we'll talk about that. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.